can't do too much complaining. We're blessed. We have a house, a beautiful home. The more I'm in it, the more I appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it as much. Of course, as a child, you know you're in a home, you live in it. And I was in my naive world as a young adult, not so much a young adult, but a young child. I wouldn't say I was embarrassed to bring friends over, but a lot of my friends, I was one of the only black children in my schools, in my classes. And I was just embarrassed or just didn't know how to invite friends over to my house because their homes were bigger and they had bigger things, more things. So I felt bad for myself, and also I didn't want my mom to feel bad because I just didn't know. It was one of those things where we didn't communicate on that, but I just assumed, and it was just something I never really was comfortable doing. But the older I got and the more I spent time at more friends' homes and knowing how much things cost and just pretty much understanding reality, I realized that I have a very beautiful home. The inside of my home is almost perfect. My mom is very creative. It's probably where I got my creativity from. She should have been an interior designer. That's her unknown talent that most people don't know about her, but she is extremely good at interior design. She knows how to coordinate colors, how to coordinate different pillows and shapes. That's her mark. But and then the pool, the backyard, everything about my house, I enjoy it. Of course, we need a paint job, we need little touch-ups here and there, and that's where I can make that difference at this current moment. Before, I was looking for the big, like, giant improvements that I can help on. Of course, I want to pay off her mortgage. Of course, I want to buy her a new car. Those are the big purchases. But the little things, I was overseeing those little things, not realizing that I can help out a lot. And I've been doing it since I've been home, but I can turn that up a whole nother notch with the things that I can do around the house to make sure she doesn't have to worry about anything when she comes home, because she's already stressed out of this world. And she may not notice or appreciate the things that I'm doing now because there's so much on her mind that she's just oblivious to it, and that's understandable. Me and her used to go back and forth, and I would argue. We would argue back and forth. We were like brother and sister when it comes to arguing. We have the same personality, so we would butt heads a lot. But after praying a lot last night, after being emotional and down and depressed, and just really seeing and understanding my mom's perspective on why she says or does certain things, I realized I have to let bygones be bygones with our relationship. Also own up to the fact that I made a lot of mistakes and I was in the wrong in a lot of situations. And not all of them, definitely not all, but in a lot of situations I was definitely wrong, and I could have used my words differently. I could have used different actions. I could have ignored certain things she said and just toughened it out. But that's going to change from now on. Like, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I help my mom out, because at the end of the day, without her, I wouldn't be alive, for one, and I wouldn't be where I am today. Without my dad either. He's going to get his, but right now, me and my dad, our focus is on helping my mom because it's a very tough time in her life. And my dad understands her more than I do because he lost his mom to dementia, and he saw that process, so he knows what my mom is going through. So we're in pick my mom up mode, where we just have to uplift her spirits, get her back on her feet. She's definitely changed. Since I've gone to college, I feel like I'm slowly losing the mom that I grew up with, and there's nobody to blame. It's life. It happens to the best of us. But I definitely know that if I keep pushing, if I keep trying, I can get my mom back. She can get herself back. She's definitely lost herself, and the one thing you do when you lose yourself, it's hard to pick yourself back up alone. So I need to be there for my mom. One of the things that my mom, like with the money, as a personal trainer, I'm not gonna lie, I make good money for each session, more money than I would have ever imagined making this soon in my life per session or per hour. But I actually imagined it, but to see it happening, it's definitely, I'm blessed for it. But with that in mind, I don't want to rush the process of getting new clients because there's a bigger picture at stake, and I don't want to make a quick $35,000 or $40,000 a year And of course, that money, it will help my mom. It will help the house to get us a little bit afloat, a little bit more afloat. But that's barely going to scratch the surface with our problems, because I have my college loans that I have to pay back. I have I have my own credit card loans, which isn't that big. My credit debt isn't that bad. I paid off all my cars except one, so that's not a huge burden. Then I have my car payment. I also want to pay off my mom's mortgage. I want to get her a brand new car. So I have a specific number that I want to get to, that I'm working towards. The big lump sum of that money, I have a specific number. But if I rush the process of getting clients before it's time, I'll end up burning out, because a majority of trainers, especially the ones that work in corporate fitness, but if they overwork themselves or overbook themselves with clients, they're going to burn out and they're not going to enjoy the actual art of training somebody. I never want that to happen. I also, take pride in not being a good trainer. I take pride in being a great trainer, an excellent trainer. I don't want to be just a good trainer or somebody who knows how to help you get your results. I'm a great trainer, and I take pride in helping my clients become healthy overall. Health is not just the physical health. The actual definition of health is the physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being of a person. So the more clients I take on, the more their lives become a part of my lives, or the more my life becomes a part of theirs. And if I'm dealing with a lot of people's emotions and their struggles, that takes a toll on me, and I don't want to rush that process before I have all of my foundations set up for the business. I don't want this business to be I don't want us to have a short run of 2 years or maybe 3 years where it's like, oh man, yeah, everybody's talking about Family Dreams Fitness. Oh yeah, we're getting our money, or for the most part, I'll be getting my money and I'll be training them. Yeah, we're getting extra things, me and my family. I don't want that to be a 1 or 2 year thing. I want this company to last a lifetime. And when it lasts a lifetime, it takes a lot to build that up. You can't just jump to that right away. If you jump to that right away, it's going to crash fast, because there's going to be another trainer that does the exact same basic minimum things. I'm doing a lot of things that most trainers, if not any, are doing all of what I'm doing. As a whole, as parts of it, yes, a lot of trainers are doing parts of it. Parts of it as far as they travel. There's a lot of mobile trainers. There's a lot of trainers that have experience as a physical therapy technician. There's trainers that have a 4-year degree. But as far as whole trainers doing events, trainers have running their website, I'm doing every single thing, every aspect of my business. I have pretty much my whole hand in it, and I'm getting help with certain parts of it. But that takes a toll on somebody. So if I'm getting extra clients right now and I rush it before I have all of this set up the way it's comfortable for me to manage without having to be always on it, I will burn out, and that wouldn't be good for me, my mom, or any of my family or anybody around. So I'm making sure, despite the need for money or the pressure for money, I can't rush the process. I have to trust God, I have to trust myself, and I have to just trust the whole overall process that things will work themselves out. I just have to keep sticking it through and keep pushing through these tough times. They're going to get easier. I have to have my faith that it's going to get better. Things are going to work themselves out, but you never want to jump to money or quick money. That stuff is not going to last. Quick money is going to, just as fast as you get it, it's just as fast as it goes away. I'm spending countless hours and days and years building this up. So with that being said, I have a solid foundation where it's going to take a lot for this to just crumble, and I don't see that happening.